Most of our fellow citizens think that our country is headed in the wrong direction. And I am not here to make a political speech. You may or may not agree with that, but the polling indicates that most of our fellow citizens think the country is headed in the wrong direction. You may think that the country is headed in the right direction, but you think we ought to go at a quicker pace. So what I want to share with you this morning is equally applicable no matter what. If you're a part of that 70% that has an angst and an uncertainty about the direction and the future of our country, then I have a word for you. If you're in that 30% that think we're headed in the right direction but think maybe we ought to head there a little quicker, then I have a word for you. If my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and forgive their sin and heal their land. The first time I saw that passage, it was sent to me by a friend of Pastor Hamlet's and mine, Dr. Ed Young, in Houston, Texas, sent that to me, and my eyes immediately went to the very first part of that verse. If my people. Note that it does not say if John Boehner, if Mitch McConnell, if President Obama, if the United States Supreme Court, if the governor of Virginia. It says, if my people. That verse is directed to the very same people who founded and defended and furthered and nurtured this country. It is directed to you. So if you think that that call to action, that call to arms is for someone else, if it's for the politicians, if it's for your professors, if it's for people on city or county council, then you're wrong. It's directed to you. And I want you to do something for me. I want you to think right now, in your own lifetime, has the influence of the government gone up or down, and has the influence of the church gone up or down? Because from where my vantage point, the influence of the government is going up and the influence of the church is going down. You just ask yourself, are there sick people in your community, either here or at home? Who do they look to for help? Yes, we have charitable hospitals. Yes, we have free clinics. But who do most of your fellow citizens look to when they're sick? Who do they look to in retirement? Do they look to the church? Do they look to family members? Do they look to the government? How about if your kids aren't being educated the way you think they ought to? Who do they blame? The teacher, the principal, the school board, or themselves? So what concerns me more than any other issue right now, you can pick, there are lots of important issues going on right now, but I want you to think more globally about the influence on our culture of the church versus government or other influences. And I want you, depending on how you answer that question, whether or not you think the influence of the church is going up or down, or whether you think the influence of government is going up and down, I want you to do something. And I know you're sitting there thinking, come on, old man, we have enough reading. Don't assign me extra reading. I want you to read something. I want you to read something called the Million Dialogue. And if you're looking for it, it's in a book by Thucydides called the Peloponnesian War. And it's a conversation, it's a dialogue between the people, the millions, the people from Milos, and the Athenians. They were about to wage war against each other. Athens was huge and powerful. The millions were small. And there's a dialogue, it's a debate between the Athenians and the millions. And the millions were having to decide whether or not to surrender and capitulate, or whether or not to fight, even though they knew they were going to lose. There was no way the millions could beat the Athenians. Every commonsensical notion told them to surrender or partner with the Athenians. So there's a dialogue back and forth. The millions were pure. The millions were idealistic. And then the millions